So you're telling me that I have to wake up at the butt crack of dawn every single day, go and work somewhere, and do that 5 times a week? No, like, that's sick. Like, you guys are mentally ill.
Listen, I'm not here to perpetuate the Gen Z stereotype that they don't know what hard work is and everything in their life they don't like is somebody else's fault. Because they do it to themselves all the time on TikTok. I don't even have to say a word. But regardless of age, if you're watching a Leon Lush video, I know you're obviously self-aware, hardworking, and very attractive. But unfortunately, not everyone has your tenacity and grit, so crying about having to work hard for something has become a bit of a personality online. I have a couple of questionable takes I want to digest with you guys today, and we're going to swing back around to that one. But first, Nigel is going to tell us about today's video sponsor.
We don't have a sponsor today, you dumb bitch.
Well, isn't that a treat? Let's get right into it.
How much do you expect your guy to make a year?
At least 7 figures. 7 figures at least.
Oh, 7,
Do you
that's
know
it?
how difficult it is to make 7 figures?
Absolutely I do.
Obviously, we deserve it. 7 figures.
7 figures, both of you.
Yes, we deserve it. What?
Love that. Well, boys, I don't mean to ruin your day, but the price of admission to unsuffocate those corset-bound milk producers is going to be minimum 1 milli per trip around the sun. So you better start picking up shifts or you're going to get stuck with some girl who, I don't know, isn't completely delusional. And how much fun is that, honestly? Scholar and Twitter user Maballs is Harry says, tell Spaghetti and Meatball any guy making that much won't be talking to them. Spaghetti and Meatball, what did he mean by that? Nobody knows. He is a scholar after all. Now the next one I'm pumped about because it looks like the day in the life videos from these like Silicon Valley tech workers is making a comeback. Where you watch this and you're like, wow, I cannot believe you posted that to Twitter or TikTok or whatever dog shit app you want everyone to know how cushy your job is. Let's take a listen here.
This is a day in my life as a product designer at Meta. I work out of their headquarters in Menlo Park, and this campus honestly reminds me of Disneyland. At 9:30, I got breakfast with my team who are here this week for a 3-day design workshop.
Okay, 9:30 breakfast on campus. That's an incredible late start. Like 9:30 start time, that's wild. Love it. Impressed by that.
I'm thinking activities before getting lunch at our barbecue pit, which is our smokehouse on campus. We couldn't forget about dessert, so we went to our sweet shop to get some ice cream. In the afternoon, we continued working on our different projects before exploring the campus on bikes. Next, we went to another building.
How much time did you have to work on your various projects? In between 2 extravagant meals, starting the day at 9:30, and biking around campus. What are you actually working on?
To explore our 9-acre rooftop park.
I did a walk in the rooftop
We grabbed some
park.
snacks and drinks before sitting outside in our courtyard. We took the shuttle back to Classic Campus and ended the evening with a team dinner.
So what you mean to say is in the traditional 8-hour workday, you did about 49 minutes of work, and the rest of the time it was like you were at Disney World. A 9-acre rooftop garden walk, biking around campus, 3 meals out at gourmet restaurants on campus. Man, it's a total shock that the tech industry is laying off thousands of people. I wonder why. But honestly, kudos to this girl and other, I don't know, product designers that work in Silicon Valley and get paid probably 6 figures to go to a theme park every day. That's a pretty sick gig. Just don't let Elon Musk's Twitter employees see this or they're gonna be on suicide watch. I can't feel my fingers, Elon. Please, God, just let me take 1 campus bike ride.
That's ridiculous.
Oh my God, I didn't plan to include this, but there's another one.
This is a day in my life as a product designer at Meta. I'm here in New York for a work trip.
Are these jokes?
I got up
Am I
around
getting
8
played?
today, got ready, and went to the office. My team went up to the
9:15,
cafe
9:30
and we got
again,
breakfast together.
9:30
Next, we went to our
breakfast?
juice bar and got green smoothies. At 10, we booked a meeting room and then we worked on our different projects. For lunch, we decided to go to an Italian cafe in our building.
As she's saying, we worked on our projects. It's showing them doing yoga at 10:30. Wow!
And the food was so good. We finished lunch with some gelato and then we went exploring and found a music room. It's been so nice being able to see my team in person. After work, we went to the rooftop to—
Yeah, no one cares about after work. Everyone gets out of work. I didn't see this when I was looking through some of these earlier, but Elon actually replied to this and said, "Are these real? This video implies people physically show up to work." Come on, that's funny, dude. I don't care what you think about the man. That's a funny reply. If you can lock in a 6-figure job at Silicon Valley Disney World,
7 figures at least.
AKA Meta, bro, you've your money in the bank. Next up, we have an example of how badly social media has broken people's brains in the last decade. Dark Side of the Moon, one of my favorite albums of all time by Pink Floyd, has cover art with a prism and rainbow colors coming out of it. Pink Floyd is celebrating the 50-year anniversary of Dark Side of the Moon's release, and when they changed their profile picture on Facebook to reflect that, well, it got a little nasty in the replies. Lose the rainbow, you're making yourself look stupid. What is that? Pink Floyd, what a disgrace. From this moment, I don't listen this band. Are you going woke with rainbows? Is there a straight flag? I want equal representation. Don't get me wrong, we should all be true to who we are. Peace. Oh my fucking God. The most perplexing part is this is on Facebook, Boomer Central, so you'd think they'd know what the original Pink Floyd album art looked like, but also not surprising to get takes this brain dead on an app filled with old fucks being manipulated by algorithms to stare down at their phone through their reading glasses, looking for things to get pissed at all day. Personally, I'm just disappointed I can't have my family play comfortably numb at my funeral anymore. I don't want anyone mistakenly thinking I'm gay. Talk about posthumous embarrassment, right? All right, so we've made it back around to the girl who's afraid of work. Let's look at it in its entirety and digest it.
Why are we not talking about how fucking sick a 40-hour work week is? I'm so sorry. So you're telling me that I have to wake up at the fucking butt crack of dawn every single day, go and work somewhere that has fluorescent lighting, is cold and uncomfortable for the entirety of the day, and do that 5 times a week? No, like, that's fucking sick.
5 times.
Like, you guys are mentally ill. Like, please get diagnosed.
Now, the first order of business is I get that her demeanor might be exaggerated a bit for the internet, as people like to do. The more exaggerated you are, typically the more views you get or the more reactions people do to your videos. But she makes me shudder a bit. The demeanor, it's like, oh, that voice, that kind of, I hate it. I don't know what it is. It's like a new age social media complainy voice, kind of. Maybe I'm a misogynist. I can't tell. Who knows anymore? Now, this video went mega viral because obviously this is perfect fodder for boomers to dunk on the internet, right? And I'm like, I don't want to be that guy that just hook, line, and sinker's like, oh, well, when I was fucking 22, I walked 16 miles to school and worked 19 jobs at the video rental store 360 fucking hours a week. Okay, we get it. You know, boomers worked hard. All right, we've heard you, okay? But I'm on the fence about whether she is being genuine or not. I think kind of like myself, sometimes maybe you try to bait people a little bit, like what I did with the toilet seat video and the Ookie Cookie one, for those of you guys familiar, because you know people are going to quote, tweet, retweet, and dunk on it. It's an easy formula to go viral if you can strike the right chord with the public. In this case, boomers are the easiest target. So to me, it seems like she's playing an exaggerated version of the anti-capitalist Gen Zer, you know, that would rather die than actually work to make money. But then you look at her TikTok and it's like all of her videos are just the same complaining about everything.
Get your fucking ass up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days.
Classic
Okay,
Kim.
I'm so sorry you had to jump from looking at Kim Kardashian to me. That was probably really startling and stark, and I apologize for that. I just have to say that I love when somebody who inherited a degree of wealth, but nonetheless wealth, and somebody who has somebody clean their house, watch their kids, run their errands, cook their dinner, tells me to work harder. I love that. Oh my God, I love that.
Oh, the demeanor.
Guys, I
Makes me
love
shudder.
that.
Now, while I do agree that you kind of have to take anything Kim Kardashian says with a grain of salt, there is this idea, I feel like, amongst young people that anyone that is successful or has any sort of money or fame or success is not allowed to have an opinion on hard work or what that means, which is an interesting take. Ironically, this genre of everything is everyone else's fault, I hate work, the world is awful, I won't take any accountability for my own life on TikTok is increasingly popular. So she could grow her audience big enough just by bitching about this shit all the time to start monetizing it through ads, which is even more ironic because that is capitalism at work, baby.
Well, nobody's forcing you to work a job you hate. I know it may
Classic
be shocking,
response.
but homelessness and starvation are actually quite coercive.
Listen, I get it. You have to provide for yourself, even if it's at a job you hate. You got to eat the shit for a while. The reality, though, is you're talking about a 40-hour work week and how that's insane. Like, what do you expect to happen? You think if we just complain enough, there'll be some government mandate where we'll reduce all of the work weeks to 25 hours and you'll get paid the same? Like, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody gives a shit about you. These, like, the faster you understand that, the quicker you can find a way to upgrade your life. There is 168 hours in a week. If you're doing 40 of those at a W-2 job that you hate, that leaves 128 hours to find out other ways to make Wi-Fi money. What I mean by that is we live in an age where you basically have W-2 money and you have Wi-Fi money. And it's never been easier to find ways to make Wi-Fi money. And I don't mean that it's easy to do, but what I mean that is if you take 5 to 6 hours a week, maybe 1 hour a day after work, you put off watching your favorite episode of fucking Firefly Girls on Netflix and figure out how to do something online, dude. There is just endless amounts of ways you can monetize things. And it might take years, a decade even, but if you just take a little bit of time every day, you can find ways to make a little bit of Wi-Fi money. And if you're lucky, if over a certain period of time, you work hard enough, right? Which sounds like something you don't like to do, you might be able to monetize something that you actually enjoy doing, right? And eventually, if you can take that even further, you might be able to replace that W-2 money that you hate so fucking much by doing the thing that you love. And the most ironic part is she might actually get there as some sort of influencer by crying about it. So kudos to her, I guess, if that's her hustle, because it's working. She went viral as shit. All you have to do, guys, is make a bunch of content crying about how fucking tough life is because boomers will swarm to you to quote tweet and reshare you on Twitter and Facebook to dunk on you, telling you about how fucking hard it was when they were kids. So she's actually 10 steps ahead of everyone else and on her way to replacing that W-2 money with Wi-Fi money. That's the game, and it's fucked up, but here we are, we're living it, baby. The punchline to all this is, if you're not making at least 7 figgies annually, no spaghetti and meatball for you, young man. As always, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to let me know how you feel about Gen Z's work ethic in the comments below. And immediately after that, stand up out of your chair and hip thrust that motherfucking like button because that makes me hard as a rock. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Deuces.